Our next guest, Peter Janssen, is in-store POS specialist and owner of Endless Branding, and deposited an interesting question. How can online print contribute to the sales and digitally produced POS materials? Endless Branding has been active for over 30 years in the design and production of point-of-sales displays. And, as Lionel from Google stated, in recent years we have seen tremendous changes in retail. This is also reflected to the POS market. These days, retailers all have their own custom-made requirements, and marketeers aim to seize the moment more than ever before. On the other hand, budgets are under pressure, and procurement tries to cluster as much as possible in order to maximize returns. The consequence is that a standard display with no impact and no chance to success in a promotional action. Also, there are more and more requests for tailored solutions in smaller and smaller runs. I'm curious how Peter and his team tackled these challenges. Please give a round of applause for Peter.
I think so. Yeah. Welcome again in the hot Brussels balls. When I drove this morning from Maastricht to Brussels, I saw the lightning in the back, dark clouds, saw some lightning, some flashes. Then I saw these metal balls. I think, are we safe in here? But I think we are. Okay. I want to tell you a short presentation, something about what we do today. My name is Peter Janssen, and I want to talk a little bit about our client portals. We're not really into an online operation that we go fully into the web with web shops and everything, but we use internal web shops, internal client portals that we create them for each customer of their own, and they're always custom made because every customer of ours has his own wishes. See how this works? Okay. The last 1.5 years, I think, we work close together with EnkView Systems. Valentin, front here, is the product manager of the software, and for people who have later on maybe a question, can reach out to Valentin. A quick impression, I can talk about who we are, maybe a movie to see who we are. They said to me when I push the button, it works.
At Endless Branding, we design and produce point-of-sale materials. What we do didn't change that much over the last 20 years, but how we do it changed completely. We believe in digital. This has been underlined by our Benelux identity with different languages and smaller runs. As a former screen printer and also offset printer, we embrace the digital revolution because of the flexibility. In today's market, we face different challenges compared to the past. We need to be quicker, more flexible, and just in time. Quality in combination with creativity is always a main focus in our company. So for the last decade, we invested a lot in a digital workflow, not only in printers, but also cutters and order management. A new focus is automation, and as soon as we saw the Nueka One, we were interested. The quality is perfect and the machine has automation. After running some tests in Nueka's demo center, we decided to purchase the printer with some tailor-made adjustments, call it fine-tuning. One of these adjustments was the vacuum table with specific vacuum zones so we don't need to mask the table when printing materials we use most in our daily production. The Nueka 1 is installed end of last year and today in full production. We already got some new jobs and customers that we couldn't deliver a few months ago, and that's mainly because of the high level of quality we deliver today. We found a partner for the future, and looking forward, we hope to invest in a second printer very soon.
Yeah, this was maybe a little bit of commercial for the printer, but it was the latest movie we got from the company, and it shows a little bit about the machines we're running and what we're doing. And yeah, we saw the environment, what I told you, we saw the environment change a lot over the past, I don't know, 5 to 10 years. It went quicker by the year. You see also the good retailers, maybe a little bit, if you can tell it like that, a little bit not so good retailers. If you look, for example, at Decathlon, if you go into a shop, you can even shoot an arrow through the shop. Maybe that's not a good example, but you can throw balls, ping pong, all around. So they do a lot of good things, and you can try the products, because the biggest difference in a retail environment between online buying and go to a shop is the experience, I think. So try to get the experience. The speaker before me already told something about the shoes and everything, and that I think the biggest difference is when you just open up your store and make it a big showroom. Our customers, they got the same challenge every day, and we have to serve them. So we need to design the aha-Erlebnis, wie the Germans say, or the wow factor, and we try to make a presentation, a good presentation that stands out and make all the products get into the spotlight. But sometimes there are design errors too, so we can fix them very quickly. And these design errors, in the past we had to check it every time again, send it again to a plotter, a digital cutter to check these designs. And nowadays we start with a 3D rendering, and we can technically check if all the crease lines, all the cutting lines, everything is okay. And these drawings we create, we fill in our customer portals. So if a customer has a design that he uses much more on a yearly basis, we put it in his database, and he can just select it and he can place an order. But we have to make sure that the orders that come in are without any faults or any technical problems or whatsoever. So we use the software to get it, to get the errors out of it. The most things we do are very big, because in the end, a display stands out if it's a big one, and especially we with our company with the big digital printers, I think we're an expert in bigger sizes, up to 3 meters. So most of the briefings are take out, stand out, make something extra, and try to get a real good presentation on this shopping floor. But you can imagine, if you go with a model like that from 3 meters high to your customer, it's it's a struggle every time. Most of our customers are like multinationals. They're on the 7th or 8th floor. If you have to present something here in this building, you come up with the elevator, and it's crashed before you even get there. So, of course, we make these physical mock-ups before we start a production, but today we use it much often as just one sample for us internally, and then we translate that into a 3D rendering and send that to our customers. And it saves, of course, a lot of material, a lot of traveling, a lot of money, and that's what we're looking for, of course. Sometimes you have to test, of course. If you make a structure, you want to see this picture I grabbed from the internet. It's just, you can imagine these books, they're heavy, you have to test it. You cannot do this in a structural design environment. But in the end, if you make your design and it works, you will translate it again into a 360 impression, and it can be checked, and EngView software is really good on the details. You can even see the flute and everything that the close-up details. I got a pointer here, let's see if I can show you that there. If you zoom in from this side, this is then this client portal. So this, for example, is a box, a packaging where a display is in. But you can change very easily also as a customer from one flute to the other, and the drawing will go with you on this in this change. Endless branding, a few years ago we said we're specialists in digital, we want to go for digital. We still do some screen printing and offset printing, but I think at this moment 85% of our jobs are digitally produced, and the runs are every day getting smaller and smaller. They have to be quicker and just in time. We got at the moment I think 4 Zund cutting tables. They're next to each other and cutting 24 hours a day. And if you look at them, you think it's slow, but they never stop. They go on and on and on. So in the end, we do a lot of square meters and a lot of output on a digital way. But our designers, they want to make their mock-ups, and they interrupt sometimes with these production runs. And now, I think we got a leak there. And now we... it cools a little bit. Is it okay? We can. Okay. So with this new software and also this the digital workflow we created, I hope it's the good work for this, the workflow. But we try to catch in this design all these errors before we go to the cutter, and then we only need to cut one, and normally it's right on the spot, maybe 1 change, 2 changes. We change that digitally and send it out to our customers. Saves again a lot of money and a lot of time for these production runs. One of the samples we made, physical samples, is still running in our company from one department to the other, from printing where it starts, that you can see if you're printing the right image, to cutting, laminating, whatever, gluing, taping. It's the sample that follows through the company. But we even want to change that with some 3D renders that go into our planning system. And in the end of this year, we hope to go live with that. So then different departures can work on the same design at the same time. Now it's always a struggle. Whereas this model, I need it, it's with the cutter, but we want to start gluing already. We got a deadline, etc., etc. Since we print like, I don't know, 85% digital, we also, of course, we have a lot of digital printers. And these printers, they can do more media than only cardboard and corrugated board, paper, but also plastics, metal, yeah, you name it, we can print on it, as long as it's not thicker than 10 centimeters and it's flat, so we can stick it to the table with some suction power, then it's okay for us. But some of these materials, they're not cheap. They're more expensive than corrugated or paper, and then it's of course a pity if you use a lot of material in the design stage that you just wasted because of wrong designs, etc. With EngView, we got now a parametric library where we can just pick out some designs, and we can also combine them. And in the end, if we use, for example, this is I think a Butler finish die bond. If we use this one instead of paper or something, we just change the thickness, and it's again a complete design that fits, and it's okay from the first sheet we put on under our router. Today, metal, wood, plastic, corrugated board, honeycomb, a lot of these. Parametric designs, it means that you draw a little bit different. EngView is the first environment where a cut environment combined with a web shop. So even an end customer can change his design. It will change in dimensions. He can change, for example, the width, the height, the depth. Me personally, we don't do it in this way at this moment because I don't know if these customers are up to that. I think you get a lot of Mickey Mouse designs that lead to a lot of errors, etc., etc. But for some designs, we will do it, and also for the last step in our software piece, it's the instructions for assembling video in 3D PDF. We can use, instead of a complete photoshopped document with a lot of pictures that takes 5 years ago, it took half a day. We already had some software in that time, but it never came out with the right touch and the right details. This one does really good. And you can make a movie even. We work with these on the shop floor. And the one who is putting this up, it just has a 3D demo, a movie on his telephone, and you can just see what happens and how we can assemble everything. So you just do it once, our customer picks it out of the portal, and he uses the movie or the 3D PDF for instruction use. Yeah, the challenges we face in the movie, I already told a little bit about those. We have to be flexible. I hardly speak to a customer who says, "Oh, take your time." It's not that we don't need it that quick. All the jobs we do nowadays, they're quick, and they're all have to be done yesterday. You know, it's getting quicker and quicker, and we have to be more flexible. And the runs are getting smaller, so. You cannot make up errors anymore in profit. You know, if the runs are smaller, you mess up some material, you will see that in your margins. And in the end, we don't want to sit behind our desk making offers all day long and only chasing these customers and hopefully end up with an order. The phone from the 80s, what I saw in one of the presentations before, we still got it, but it's more to connect with our customers also by phone. But today you also need like a gun or something, because yeah, we got more and more jobs every day, and the amount is decreasing, and the number of runs, it's increasing very, very, very much. To handle all these, we have a Packaged client portal. And every portal is made for our customer on a custom-made base. Every customer of ours has his specific needs. This one is for Microsoft, and they got their I don't see it there, Microsoft POS. But we also put some customers, we put there just some inspiration. We put another button with a lot of designs we create and we think they could use it. They don't have to buy it, we just fill it up. And sometimes we see a job coming through that nobody asked for and just came out of the blue. For this customer, we do also a lot of printing stuff. Not that it's not our core business, but they wanted to have it in one hand, so we provided them with this, and it's all for several countries. So also a lot of translation, and they can log into this from different countries. They can see the different translations. They can add their notifications to the job and see what has to be done different, and our project manager only looks at on top there. Oh, go back to the projects, the quotes, the orders, everything that's running, that's pending. jobs that are paid, not paid, delivered, not delivered. You can see it all in this client portal. This is a parametric display, so this structure can be adjusted by a client. The client itself doesn't do this, it's by an agency done, so they got understanding about structural design, and they can make their own designs, can also make their own changes, and they can adjust the width, they can adjust the depth and the height until limits, because otherwise we run out of sheets. But until limits, they could give in different measurements, and they will automatically be a new drawing in on our cutter. Here you see, I clicked on one of those lines, so then this desk popped up, and but you can see an overview of the current orders and the order history and the job status. So in the future, we want to try to get this again integrated with exact production. That's our CRM system, how you say that. And with this system, we got the whole circle. I hope we got it completely closed. And then, we spent less hours and less errors in every production. And then there's something new coming up. We don't work with this, but a lot of our customers work with their own Illustrator, Photoshop, etc. environment. They don't want to go directly on a web portal or on a web-based environment. They want to do it in their safe server, on their safe desktop maybe. And maybe Valentin, you can tell something about it, because I don't know anything about it. So you just told me that it's coming. So
yeah, okay, thank you, Peter. So this simply is an extension of the online platform, where with the help of Chile publisher on the online platform, we're able to edit the artwork. But some of the professional users, for them this wouldn't be enough, because they would like to use the potential of Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop, the professional tools on the desktop. So we're making a bridge between the online platform and the desktop tools that will facilitate the designers with a single click of a mouse to go to a desktop, do the design with the professional tools like Adobe Illustrator, another click, and it goes back to the platform. So that's what's coming in the next month.
It's not in EngView done, but it's going to Illustrator, and right away you click. It's a plugin. Okay, thank you. So this was a short presentation about our digital progress, and if you got any questions, maybe I can answer them, maybe later, maybe now. Thank you.